In its latest response to sanctuary cities and the problem it perceives with local jurisdictions not cooperating with ICE detainers, ICE has now doubled down on its policy for arresting undocumented immigrants inside courthouses. Now, you might remember about a year ago, there was a story out of Texas concerning a woman who went to court to seek a protective order against her abuser. This was in El Paso, and ICE agents arrested her inside the courthouse just as soon as that hearing had concluded. Now, it got some negative press at the time, and rightfully so, but the issue seems to have kind of died down until now. Now, recently, ICE's acting director, Thomas Homan, issued a 4-page directive to ICE employees setting out the policies for enforcing civil enforcement inside courthouses. Now, when I say civil enforcement, I'm referring to people who may have, say, unexecuted orders of removal. I'm not talking about people who ICE is chasing criminally because they've committed crimes that are hurting the community. We're talking about civil enforcement. Well, ICE now, specifically in response to the fact that sanctuary cities and jurisdictions are not cooperating with them, has issued a new policy about how they're going to go after people inside courthouses. And we should probably expect to see this policy to be implemented specifically in jurisdictions that consider themselves sanctuary cities or sanctuary states, like California or Colorado or New Mexico or parts of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, for example. Now, this new policy sets out categories of undocumented immigrants that ICE will seek to arrest in courthouses. And one of those is simply people with unexecuted removal orders. In other words, a removal order was issued by a judge, but it has never been put into effect. Now, it's important to note in this category, it doesn't say anything about those people having criminal records or criminal charges or anything of that nature. The simple fact that a person has an unexecuted removal order is sufficient for ICE to target them if ICE knows that they're going to be appearing at a courthouse. And it's not just the person in question, because the policy says that ICE can, under certain circumstances, target or initiate procedures against other people they run across in the course of arresting this particular immigrant. So, for example, family members who may be at the courthouse or friends who may be at the courthouse could also be subject to ICE enforcement. Now, as I noted, the policy doesn't say that these people have to be at a courthouse because they're charged with committing a crime. They could be there because they are the victims of a crime. They could be there because they were the witnesses to a crime. They could even be there because they are the parents of a child who has been the victim of a crime. If ICE knows that they're going to be at a courthouse and ICE has confirmed that they have an unexecuted removal order, ICE can go to that courthouse and arrest them. Now, courthouses are public spaces, and there really isn't very much that a local jurisdiction can do to try to prevent these kinds of enforcement actions. But it's easy to see what some of the effects of this policy could be. People who are victims of crimes, who are undocumented immigrants, may be more reluctant to call the police or to cooperate with the police if they think that someday they may have to go to a courthouse and ICE may be waiting for them. People who are witnesses to a crime, maybe even witnesses for the prosecution, may fail to show up for trials because they're concerned that ICE will be there and potentially arrest them. And criminals, those who prey on immigrants and prey on immigrant communities, may feel emboldened to commit more crimes or to threaten witnesses and threaten victims by saying, I know what I can do to you because if you go to court, ICE is going to be there waiting. This policy might increase ICE's enforcement numbers, but it can make it much harder for state and local law enforcement to do their jobs and keep their local communities safe. And it will keep communities from making their own decisions on who they think are dangerous members of their communities and who aren't. Having the power to do something doesn't always mean that doing it is a good idea. And if ICE really pursues this policy of enforcing in courthouses, like I said, their numbers may go up, but it may be the local communities that are paying the price. Now, if you think that seeing these videos is helpful, if you like the fact that we can bring you timely and up-to-date information about what's going on in the world of immigration, then please follow us on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Lester Law. You can also always contact us directly at area code 423-402-0608 or through our webpage at www.lesterlaw.org. So, until next time, stay safe, stay strong. We'll see you soon.